Hello, friends. If you're new, welcome. If you are a fan or a subscriber, welcome back and thank you for the patronage. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm going to be talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses and their teaching that the last day started in 1914. Did they? Let's go. JWs believe the last day started in 1914. As evidence, they cite increases in sickness, war, famine, etc. Yet the fact is that in many ways the world has greatly improved. Because of this, Watchtower resorts to presenting fallacious and misleading claims. Religions like the Jehovah's Witnesses, called apocalyptic religions, believe the last days are a relatively short period of time and generally believe they are living in them. All signs that are said to accompany these last days are very generic and can be applied to any time period in history. The very first page of the first Watchtower claimed that it was a fact that the 1800s were the end of the Gospel Age or the last days. Russell taught that these last days started in 1799. He borrowed this chronology from the Adventist movement. In addition, he claimed that the 1800s was the worst period in history and the world would end in 1914. Of course, Russell's predictions failed, and the second Watchtower president, Rutherford, had to make adjustments, and starting in the 1930s, he claimed that the last days started in 1914. Now, Watchtower says that the 20th and 21st centuries uniquely fulfill the vague prophecies of the last days. In support of their assertion that Jesus began invisibly ruling in heaven in 1914, they claim that it was the year we entered the time of hardship that had never been experienced worldwide. Has the world experienced that hardship? In a nutshell, no. But let's take a closer look. Every century has seen war, hunger, and plagues. This is nothing new. The 14th century saw conditions much worse than the 20th century. Europe experienced such a famine that there were reports of parents eating their own children, and this hunger led to skyrocketing crime. In the 14th century, the Mongol Empire waged war on Eurasia, and in 1337, the longest war in history began, the 100-Year War between France and England. The Black Death, starting in 1347, wiped out 1/3 of Europe, or 70 million people. We must also consider that quality of life has improved since the Industrial Revolution. In 1800, average life expectancy was only 28.5 years. By 2007, it was 68 years. This can be credited to lower war deaths, increasing medical technology, higher accountability for crime, increasing crop yields, and better earthquake and hurricane preparedness. So there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy here, but keep in mind these are just estimates, which is why there's a discrepancy. One example of Watchtower's dishonesty can be found in the You Can Live Forever on Earth book, where they claimed the Spanish flu epidemic at 21 million deaths was the deadliest epidemic. However, the fact is that the Justinian plague in the 6th century, claiming around 100 million lives, and the 14th century Black Death, taking 62 million lives, were the deadliest. Deadly diseases were greatly reduced in the 20th century thanks to medical technology. Watchtower also incorrectly asserts that the greatest famines have happened after 1914. The April 15, 1983 Watchtower does give some big numbers for famine-related deaths. 5 million in the USSR in 1921 and the 1930s. As big of a loss of life as this is, consider this. In 1849, China lost 14 million people to starvation, and in 1769-70, India lost almost 10 million. As part of the 2015 Global Hunger Index, a study reports the achievements of the past 50 years is the elimination of famines of over 1 million deaths. I don't know about you guys, I'm feeling pretty optimistic for the next 100 years. Not that I'm going to live for the next 100 years to see it all. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, and if you'd like to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source I used for this video. Question everything and never be afraid. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, goodbye.